I look at London, where you have a terrible mayor, terrible mayor. And it's been so changed, so changed. Now they want to go to Sharia law.
Oh, I didn't want him there. I asked that he not be there. I don't want them. I think the mayor of London, Khan, is among the worst mayors in the world. And we have some bad ones. If you look at Chicago, if you look at... But I think he's the equivalent of the mayor of Chicago. I think he's done a terrible job. Crime in London is through the roof. The mayor of London, Mayor Khan, has done a terrible job.
King Charles may have just dealt the knockout blow to Sadiq Khan's career. 6 words from Donald Trump on the world stage. 1 carefully chosen statement from Buckingham Palace. And suddenly, the mayor of London finds himself cornered like never before. This isn't a headline-grabbing drama. This is a political collapse happening live. Here's the full breakdown. Last week, Donald Trump stood before representatives of nearly 200 nations at the Union and delivered a blunt remark. London has a terrible mayor. The room froze. Cameras stopped moving. Diplomats glanced at one another. Everyone realized something big had just been set in motion. But what followed, nobody saw coming. If you want to stay ahead on how UK politics is shifting under our feet, make sure you subscribe. We track it all as it unfolds. Because here's where things escalated. King Charles, a monarch who, for decades, has kept out of day-to-day politics, broke with tradition. For the first time in generations, the crown openly stepped into a political storm. In a public statement, the king raised deep concerns about safety in London. He never spoke Sadiq Khan's name. But he didn't need to. Everyone knew exactly who he was talking about. And the timing? Just days after Trump's remarks. The implication couldn't have been clearer. Westminster erupted. Labour MPs sat frozen in shock. Conservatives grinned from ear to ear. The press lit up. Had the king just sided with Trump? Had the monarchy shattered its golden rule of neutrality? Or was Charles simply voicing what millions of Londoners already felt? Either way, Khan's team panicked. No tweet could erase it. No interview could soften it. The image was burned into the public imagination, Britain's own monarch echoing Trump's attack on London's mayor. Social media went nuclear. Hashtags like #CharlesBacksTrump and #KhanHumiliated trended within minutes. And this wasn't fake accounts or bots pushing it. It was ordinary Londoners. People posting that when even the king speaks up, you know something's gone very wrong. The Daily Mail's headline, Royal Shockwave, Charles echoes Trump. The Telegraph, Monarch sides with Trump. Khan cornered. Even the BBC, usually cautious with royal coverage, couldn't sidestep it. Their headline was blunt, King Charles raises concerns over London's leadership. That single word, leadership, stung the most. Because that's exactly what Londoners feel they've been missing. Knife crime up 15%. Violent robberies up 22%. Tourism down. The data doesn't lie. Trump called it out. Now the king had nodded to it. And Khan? Still no real answers. Inside Labour HQ, panic set in. The party was in meltdown. Keir Starmer, already fighting to hold his ranks together, wanted nothing to do with Khan's crisis. In Parliament, he dodged questions not once, not twice, but 3 times. And when your own leader won't defend you? That's the endgame. And then came Khan's mistake. Instead of addressing crime, he went on the offensive. He slammed Trump. He hinted Charles had been misled. He blamed the right-wing press. Classic deflection. Classic error. Because here's the reality, how do you sidestep your own king? By midday, news clips were running side by side, confuming, defensive, emotional, while Charles calmly and gravely spoke of public safety. The contrast was brutal. Who would the public trust more? The answer wasn't even close. Then came the polling numbers, and they were devastating. A YouGov survey revealed 44% of Londoners agreed with the king's concerns. But the real dagger? Nearly one-third of Khan's own supporters sided with Charles and Trump instead of their mayor. That's political death. Even Labour MPs started going on record, warning Khan to drop the anti-Trump rhetoric and focus on crime. Basically, his MPs knew he was sinking. Then came another blow. The Royal Foundation published a report on youth safety, highlighting rising fears among families about violent crime and the lack of trust in London leadership. That phrase again, lack of trust. Everyone could see where the finger was pointing. And regular Londoners responded. Social media turned completely. One Hackney mother tweeted, "When Trump and King Charles both say London isn't safe, maybe it's time we stop laughing it off and start demanding answers." Her post went viral with over 250,000 likes. This wasn't politics. This was raw frustration from ordinary people Khan desperately needed to keep on his side. For years, Khan's strategy had been simple: dismiss Trump, mock critics, blame the messenger. But against the weight of the monarchy's words, it looked weak. Instead of strength, Khan looked small. Instead of authority, he looked cornered. And instead of silencing Trump, he handed him credibility. By Saturday, the collapse was undeniable. Khan's approval rating had plunged 7 points in less than a week. Confidence in London's safety hit record lows. On Sunday, Khan appeared on the BBC, hoping to recover. He was asked one direct question: setting aside Trump and the King, are you satisfied with London's crime record? For 4 painful minutes, he dodged. He mentioned Trump 11 times. Charles 3 times. But he never once answered the question. The clip went viral, and the verdict was unanimous. He looked evasive. Weak. Out of touch. Even loyal Labour commentators admitted Khan needed to stop fighting Trump and start fixing London. But the damage was done. By Monday, headlines across the spectrum carried the same message: Khan's leadership was now in question. The Guardian, The Telegraph, the Daily Mail, different papers, same conclusion. And then, the London Assembly released fresh figures. 67% of Londoners avoiding parts of the city at night. Tourism down 8% year on year. Businesses in high-crime areas losing cost. These weren't talking points. These were facts. The very next day, King Charles doubled down. Visiting a youth center, he said, "Every citizen deserves to feel safe in their community. Leadership is not about ignoring concerns, but about listening and acting." Again, no mention of Khan by name. But everyone understood. And this time, the cameras caught the applause, the smiles, the nods of agreement from parents and community leaders. It was the photo op Khan dreaded, the king standing as the voice of reason, while the mayor looked defensive and ineffective. By midweek, the story had grown beyond London. National papers were warning that Khan's implosion could damage Labour across the UK. Conservatives sharpened their attacks, repeating a devastating line: if Labour can't even keep London safe, how can they keep Britain safe? And it stuck. Social media flooded with clips, memes, hashtags like #KhanOut and #KhanFinished. And these weren't driven by party activists, they came from ordinary citizens sharing their personal stories of crime and fear. By now, even Labour insiders were leaking to the press. One told The Telegraph, "We begged him to focus on crime. He wouldn't listen. Now he's finished." Another was even blunter: Trump didn't destroy Khan. Khan destroyed himself. And that's the brutal truth. Because when a US president calls you out before the entire world, and your own king publicly echoes those concerns, it's not just a political fight you're losing. It's legitimacy. And once legitimacy crumbles, the polls, the party support, the media cover, and the public trust, they all fall with it. Khan's mistake wasn't just the crime stats. It was thinking he could win by mocking, dismissing, and deflecting. But here's the reality: you can't joke your way out of rising crime. You can't sidestep your way out of collapsing public trust. And you can't spin your way out of 67% of Londoners avoiding their own city at night. This story isn't about left or right. It isn't about Trump or Charles. It's about leadership, about accountability, and whether politicians are willing to face reality when their citizens demand answers. And right now? Londoners have given their verdict. So here's the question for you. Do you think Khan can survive this? Or is his political career already over? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more in-depth political commentary, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into the world of power and politics. Thanks for watching.